So this is just a observation on my bandpass spectrograms for my 5-way system, and I chucked in some little EQ band helpers because I was just doing some curious listening tests into what would happen if I boosted the edges of my crossover bands, and I managed to automate it so I can turn a couple of different controls, change the boost at the top low pass, and I can also minus frequencies at the top low passes. So this is the high, mid, this is the 6-inch, this is the 8-inch here. So where these bands are placed is where the electrical crossover point would be in the crossover design. So I can do that for the high pass at the bottom of each band pass too. So that would be taking out, I think it's like 80 something for the 6-inch, and as you can see, there's the 80 on the 8-inch as it comes in. So, and what I discovered is, apart from just highlighting different frequencies and making me hear different things, when I did the opposite on each, so I did a boost at the one and then the negative on the other. See, this band is the same as this band, but just working on a different speaker. So theoretically, if you put 4 in here, or lower that, if you put 4 in here and take 4 out there, the overall theoretical acoustic response in the car would be the same. It's just that the amount of energy for this band is coming out of a different speaker in a different amount. And surprisingly enough, dynamics was the first thing I noticed. So whenever you push when I did it the opposite way, whenever you push the lower extremity of a speaker's capability, you start to you hit distortion earlier on transients. So the 6 was getting a bit more heat here in the 80 hertz, it's pretty low for it, and the 1K on that 2.5-inch speaker. So you could hear that cooking, and I've also got the little, I think it's about 6-7K on the tweeter. So that's giving the bottom energies into the drivers, which I didn't really appreciate, but it was interesting. And then if you punch the top end, another thing happens to a speaker when it can't quite do high frequencies, and it's like a breaking up kind of a heat, and I could hear a little bit of that coming through with this one and maybe a bit of that one. It's hard to describe. So that was dynamically. But stage cues, this was what was surprising me. It just came out of this, just a random result from this thought experiment. So I noticed that when I passed energy to the, so it would have been this one. So dynamically this one didn't do well, but imaging it did the best. You're taking out some of the energies from the speaker's top region and giving it to the next speaker. And so you're not only bringing the stage height up a tiny bit, like an inch, you're also going back a little bit because there's a slight hierarchy to my 6, 2.5, 1 away from me. And also it's getting smaller. So the diaphragm, 2.5-inch to like 1.25 inch. That frequency went from a bigger radiator to a smaller radiator. And this is only in a small amount. So that's why we're not just totally cutting it off and putting it there. We're just massaging it, putting a bit more energy up in height and back and into a smaller diaphragm. So stage positioning got better. And in the case here of the 6-inch, we're taking out 1K from here, low down, and we're taking that 1K and we're putting more of it in the 2.5-inch. So going up going back and getting smaller. So here the 6-inch goes from here to here, and that 1K was this wide, and then putting it more into there, into this little 2.5-inch. So the stage positioning got better, and I did hear it like no joke, and then I kind of worked out what was happening. Down here in the 8 and the 12, I just put them in there just for academic interest. I haven't really noticed any shifting of the bass, so I haven't been really listening for that. So yeah, there would be like a little less 80 in the lower door and a little more 80 in the 6. So even that's coming up, I guess. But I can't say I heard that. So that was just a quick observation of this little test setup. I'll just unpause it. Maybe just get a copyright strike. So yeah, probably doesn't come across in video anyway. Cut the bit out. Alright, catch you later.